So I got to the final boss of the new dungeon. I haven't beat it yet, but this is kind of like a day one, like a first impression of the dungeon. I actually don't hate it. There's parts of it I don't like. Obviously the biggest criticism I think everyone has is that the boss like health is, it's we're getting to War Priest levels with these with these health pools. A big complaint from the last dungeon, Spiral of the Watcher, was that Akalos, whatever the hell the harpy is called, had too much health. And he was around 6 million, and that was unusual for dungeon bosses, because usually the first dungeon boss doesn't have 6 million, probably like 3 or 4 million, and then like the final boss is like 7, 9 million. Uh, but if I told you that the first boss of this dungeon, if you were to combine the health pools of Akalos and Persis, you'd still be like a couple million short. He has 15 million health. I knew something. I thought I was missing a mechanic or something when I was laying into them with my lament, and I died, and I looked up, and I did like 9 million damage. I'm like, that can't be right. And it's, yeah, he just has that much health. I think, again, the setting's really cool. The bosses are pretty cool. Like, if you know some Hive lore, there's actually some really cool stuff here. The only other issue I have is kind of like the pacing, because the first part, gets you used to like some symbol finding crap. It's random, but you spend a lot of the time just diving deep, which aesthetically is cool. But obviously, as you run the dungeon more and more, that becomes more of that becomes a novelty. You just want to get right into the action. So spending like 5-10 minutes transversing through all these other water sections kind of suck. And they're all darkness zones too, so if you die, I actually don't know where it'll place you because I haven't died in any of the underwater sections. But I'm assuming the worst, and it places you at the very top. So yeah, I don't know about that. Um, but that's pretty much it. I think it's a fine dungeon overall. I haven't got any weapons. I only got the armor. Some people say the weapons are really good. I don't know. I've been unlucky. But yeah, I would definitely like to see them tone down that health. I guess in Bungie's mind, because I guess they only think in like black and white and two extremes, is that while with Spiral the Watcher the damage windows were short and they had a lot of health, you could get to the damage phases really fast, like especially like all of them really, because if you knew the routes, there's no RNG. If you know the routes for the circuits, you finish them. With the first boss, and the final boss, there is RNG and there's randomness to the symbols. And yeah, like it got to the point, like I've been stuck on the first boss long enough to know where all the symbols are, and there's a little bit of RNG there. But it takes a little bit to get to the damage phase, and you do have a really long damage phase. Like again, I went through all my lament ammo, and that's enough just to end the damage phase. So all 58, ammo. So I guess because the damage window is so long, they thought, yeah, it'd be okay to give them like stupid high health. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that really. Um, Also, that boss, the first boss, he can be a bitch with that Sentinel shield throw. Like that thing just obliterates you. And that tracking is crazy. He gets super aggressive. The part that I kind of hate, but don't actually hate, like it's kind of, I don't know, I have mixed feelings, is the underwater section during the first boss fight. It's kind of neat. You have to dive down. He's chasing underneath you, and you have to collect symbols. I kind of wish it was more involved. Like maybe you could use the pressure of the methane ocean against him, like to compromise his shield a little bit, so you deal bonus damage or something. Like incorporate more than just collecting symbols. That I don't know. Um, like I said, the mechanics aren't hard to get. It's just that it takes a lot of setup to do some of the damage phase, especially for the final boss. And it's like, eh. And then like nothing hurts more when you wipe and you see you did like 7 million, 9 million damage. And if this was like any other dungeon boss or hell even a raid boss, that thing would have fell over by then. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know, man. 15 million health. That is almost triple of Akalos's. That's crazy, man. Um, if you're wondering what I used, I just used Gunslinger and Assassin's Cow to get to the boss. But for the first boss, 1-2 punch, shotgun, blinding GL, and lament. Triple solar surge. I went with melee resistance and arc damage resist. I know some people say go with void, but the reason I had to choose is because I had to run Lucent Blade. Lucent Blade makes a huge difference. With lament in particular, arc bloater heavy handed to make orbs, ammo finders, time dilations, proximity ward, pretty much standard stuff. The lament combo I did was 2 revved attacks and a heavy, and then 2 lights. I believe that's like the better DPS combo, because I know most people do 3 heavy or 3 revs lights and then a heavy, but I forgot, I don't know if it was Selfu or someone, it's been posted around, but apparently the more optimal combo is 2 heavy, 2 revs lights and then a heavy, for the Lament combo. But yeah, the hardest part really about that boss fight was just surviving the initial damage phase where he was in his super, because the moment his super goes down, he should get out of his super. There's times where he hasn't. But yeah, those frisbees can just destroy your health. But that's pretty much it. I don't think it's like a bad dungeon or anything. Obviously, I'm gonna have to wait and see. In terms of like, if you want to look at the weapons, if you go to collections here, that's pretty much it. If you don't want any spoilers, by the way. If you look at the weapons here, where we go to collections. Sorry, my brain is fried. It's I've been stuck at that first boss for like hours, and then I made it to the final boss. Did like almost a damage phase and called it quit there. Kind of sucks that going to orbit cancels your solo thing, but it is what it is. I've only gotten 2 gauntlets, unfortunately. But apparently people are saying that the no survivors is like another. It has really good perks, and they're comparing to the immortal or something. So I mean, great, I guess. The armor looks cool. Stuff like that. The exotic trace rifle is pretty much like a support weapon. It gives you woven mail to you and your allies if you shoot them for a couple of seconds, and then the catalyst gives you a grapple point or something. For an alt fire, it seems like Divinity, where it's like a support weapon. So that's cool, I guess. I don't know about doing this on Master, dude. I don't know. Being under leveled, you do have surges and stuff, but champions just make everything more annoying. I can already see that the knights that some in the first boss are bigger knights. Like that's just gonna be annoying. But I'm glad I was wrong with my prediction, because one of my predictions was that they're going to throw like some random weapons in here. Like I was expecting Doomsday and the other Gambit weapon I forgot that didn't make the cut for the other vendor to be shoved in here. But nope, this all seems to be new stuff. I know new as in like, oh, these are all reskins, but the coolest one I think so far is this new Pacific Epitaph, because it's a waveframe kinetic. So that's cool. I don't know what perks you can roll on it, but and then we have another rapid fire glaive. I believe the other rapid fire glaive is the exotic hunter one, and then of Excalibur, so that's interesting. This is just an aggressive frame rocket, nothing too different. Bipod shit, by the way. It's an aggressive frame. Yeah, so I'll say in terms of loot, I like Spires more, because Spire of the Watch had a lot 2 unique weapon frames. We had the double barrel grenade launcher and then the long arm. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, Duality had Storm Chaser, which was the first of its kind, so that was kind of cool. But overall, the loot, not the worst. The armor is probably the most appealing part, but farming that dungeon, I'm probably going to definitely get a team, because having to run all the way down to the first boss, it does take a bit. There's a lot of in-between sections too, where you're just kind of killing stuff. It's paced differently from other dungeons, I will definitely say. In terms of where I'd rank it, I don't know, because I'm still I want to see I want to see how this dungeon would feel if like the health pool is reduced by even like a fourth, because again, 15 million trying to doing that solo, that took me about 4 or 5 damage phases of just Lament, and I burned through all my Lament ammo. And I wasn't, some of those damage phases weren't perfect because Lament has shit tracking, but yeah, I definitely recommend doing this for a team. Solo flawless, this is going to be a fucking nightmare. I can already tell you that right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I am fucking tired. I'm sorry. But is it worth the dungeon key? Maybe. I bought the deluxe edition because I just said fuck it. Hopefully the next season or this season will be good, and I play this game enough. The next dungeon will be right before Final Shape, the season Final Shape. So there's that. But I will say this is not a bad dungeon. I don't hate this. I just that the health pools, man. We can't be getting near War Priest fucking levels of health, okay? But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.